Live at the courthouse with the very latest. Good afternoon, Cari.
Good afternoon, Bill. That's absolutely right. More time, more information. Today inside of that federal courtroom, it was pretty much standing room only. Family, friends, fans, supporters, all of T.I. Among the most impressive, 6 executives from Atlantic Records and Warner Music Group. They all flew in from New York City. They're T.I.'s employers, if you will. Each of them saying they would put up $100,000 bond each, along with the company putting up $1 million. That shows how much faith they have in their client, so to speak. But in the end, the judge said it just wasn't enough time for him to make that decision. Machine guns, silencers, handguns. Federal authorities lay it out and say it was a small arsenal believed to belong to 27-year-old Clifford Harris, better known as T.I.
He's upbeat, he's very confident, the legal system will work in his favor, and he's looking forward to, meeting all these matters next Friday.
The Atlanta rap superstar has hired a dream team of attorneys. Dwight Thomas, Steve Sadow, and Ed Garland are among the group. They've handled some major high-profile criminal cases for athletes and entertainers alike.
This judge has not made a decision. He has left him in custody without bond, and we come back to find out what his final conclusion is.
On Friday, a federal judge, Alan Baverman, could not accept the admittedly impressive bond deal presented by T.I.'s attorneys. $2.2 million in cash and property, house arrest with an electronic monitor. Essentially, he would be imprisoned inside of his own home. But that was not enough, says the judge. He wants to review the deal and add other conditions before he can make a final decision.
If he grants bond, is going to set very high standards of who the monitor is and what his conduct is and how this would operate.
And back out live more about what the judge had to say. He said that there was something troubling about this case, the dichotomy of the two lives that T.I. lives. He says all of his goodwill, the charitable work in which he goes to schools and talks about staying off of drugs, don't get involved in violence, and then his lyrics, again, completely the opposite of the life he tries to preach to these kids. All that troubling for the judge. Another reason why he could not make a decision. In the end, he said he would try to make a decision on Friday. That's next Friday at 3 o'clock. Among those stipulations, $2 million cash, no property, cash inside of the bank before he decides whether or not he would release T.I. And obviously more strict guidelines in regards to this monitoring case. Reporting live from the federal courthouse, I'm Cari Champion, CBS 46 News.
A news conference about this crime just wrapped up. Cari.
Stephanie, that's right. In fact, police tell me those 2 more suspects that they're looking for are considered the lookout men when this crime happened, and that's why they held this press conference. They say they know who these guys are, they know where they can be found, but it's just a matter of finding them. And so they hope today, by releasing additional information, somebody will come forward and help them out.
These gentlemen were held up, or where they were being held against their will.
It was nearly a 15-hour ordeal for these 2 attorneys. David DeGagnon and Herman Hoying stepped out of the East Side Lounge and walked into a crime of opportunity.
Randomly picked them out as they're walking down the street, at gunpoint, forced them into the vehicle.
Detective Quinn says Christopher Maddox and Christopher McFarland approached, forced the 2 men inside the trunk of a stolen car, but left out some key details. Amateur robbers, if you will.
But the mistake they made in being good robbers, you didn't check to see if they had their cell phones on them.
A 911 phone call made from Hoying's cell phone and a text message from DeGagnon's, coupled with stolen debit cards, led police to the suspects and the subsequent rescue of the attorneys.
I'm really happy that the police showed up. I thought for sure that the men that took us were gonna kill me and my friends. So I'm really relieved, really happy.
An emotional reunion on Sunday. Police, as well as the victims, know odds were working against them. The chances of these 2 returning home safe and unharmed weren't likely.
I'm doing fine. Still, again, like I said, I'm still out of it. I haven't really come to reality yet that I got out of that apartment. So I'm really thankful, and yeah.
They should be thankful. Again, those two suspects are believed to be in the southeast Atlanta area, in the Pittsburgh area. Meanwhile, we went back to the East Side Lounge where this all took place. We had a chance to speak with some business owners there. They tell us they're a little concerned about this crime. Should there be more security? That's the question we'll answer coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. For now, reporting live in City Hall East, I'm Cari Champion, CBS 46 News.
And as CBS 46's Cari Champion reports, Wilson is thankful for his supporters, but very aware of his critics.
That's right, Stephanie. Predators, naysayers, so to speak, people who will wait for Wilson to make the slightest mistake. That's how Gennaro describes his critics. But his mother told him, you must be better. He says he'll actually, though, be the best.
Gennaro was going to take the plea with the other boys, and he had told me not to come to the courthouse. And had I gotten there 15 minutes later, we wouldn't be sitting here now.
Vanessa, how you feeling?
Now is life outside of prison. Now is after a long legal battle. But now also took 2.5 years to come.
Wow. It's still so unreal to me. I'm still in a state of shock.
The case of a teen sentenced to 10 years in prison for having consensual oral sex with another teen outraged supporters but comforted critics. For Gennaro, it sparked a debate. Did it ever feel like a black or white issue?
I believe if I came from a rich, wealthy, white family, I wouldn't have been persecuted, and it wouldn't have been taken this far.
Far is all the way to the state Supreme Court, which ultimately ordered his release. But the question often asked, where's the justice?
There were some things that definitely went wrong that night, and Gennaro has accepted that all along. But what's appropriate and what's the appropriate sentence? And the Supreme Court was dead on correct in agreeing that it was cruel and unusual punishment.
But now the focus turns toward his future. He talks of going to school, majoring in sociology, and perhaps being a mentor.
I just plan on succeeding, so they can see that, that them standing up for me was not for, no reason.
Wilson and his mother agree his 2+ years in prison was worth it. Not accepting a plea deal was the best decision that they made. Gennaro says now is the time to go above and beyond expectations and be the person he wants to be. Only time will tell. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Cari Champion, CBS 46 News.
As CBS 46's Cari Champion reports tonight, now that police know who the victim is, their next question is, who killed him?
You'd think that if it happened right behind the house, they would have had some sort of investigation around the house, but evidently not.
A decade-old missing persons case turns into a murder mystery. Marietta police want to know who shot and killed Donald Holm.
Somebody who knew him, knew of his whereabouts, knew where he frequented, anybody that can come up with any information on Mr. Holm. Hopefully they can lead us, give us a new direction for our investigation.
His bones were buried underneath a cement slab. A DNA sample from the remains and Donald Holm's son confirmed his identity. The man missing for 10 years had been found.
When I was living here, there was an old guy that used to hang out on the porch, didn't get around because I think he was handicapped, and when they first told me it was a guy that was murdered, I thought it was him, but they said it was before that guy.
But now investigators need to know what happened. A $10,000 reward is being offered to anyone who has any information in this decade-old missing persons case turned murder mystery. Now back out live, this is the location where Holm's remains were found. As you can see, it's a parking lot now, and that's why they have very little information to go on. If you have any information about this case, please contact Marietta PD. Reporting live in Marietta, I'm Cari Champion, CBS 46 News.
Are you getting a call back? No call back.
One by one, they're being turned away.
My Sally Amore, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only girl my heart beats for. How wish that you were mine. You coming back tomorrow?
Bruce is a U.S. Marine from North Carolina. He was told he had a good voice, but it wasn't good enough.
No call back. Oh, I'm sorry. Good luck, fellas.
A callback would mean they're in the semifinals, if you will, on to round 2, like this young fella.
Still I can't let you go.
What a difference a voice makes. Hundreds lined the streets of downtown Atlanta, all hoping to be a part of P. Diddy's next band.
Tell me it's real, the feeling that we feel.
Once inside the Verve Lounge, two judges listened for about 10 seconds and then separated the bags.
It's gonna burn for me to say this, but it's coming from my heart.
I don't think he's gonna make it. From the good.
And I can't let it go. It's a natural. You belong to me. I belong to you.
Lorianne is the show's choreographer and one of the judges. She makes a quick appearance outside to let the boys know what she's looking for.
What I look for most is your heart and your fight, because can't nobody take that from you.
Still I can.
And with those words of inspiration, the practice continues and the dream of being the next big thing lives on.
To make you come home. It seems so long ago you walked away and left me alone. Now remember what you said to me. You were acting so